In the heart of Mali, deep within the Dogon country, stood a baobab tree unlike any other. This ancient giant towered over the landscape, its gnarled branches spreading like 1,000 arms reaching for the sky. The villagers of Songa called it Ngolo, which meant power in their native tongue. For generations, they believed that Ngolo held a secret so profound that it could change their fate forever. Old tales whispered among the village elders spoke of Ngolo's mystical origins. It was said that the tree was planted by a great shaman who had trapped a powerful spirit within its roots. This spirit, neither benevolent nor malevolent, was bound to protect the village as long as it remained undisturbed. However, the elders also warned of a prophecy: a day would come when the spirit would awaken, seeking retribution for centuries of confinement. As time passed, the tales became mere bedtime stories, and the villagers lived in peace, their lives intertwined with the rhythm of the seasons. Yet, the mystery of Ngolo was never forgotten, and a sense of foreboding always lingered in the air. One fateful day, a stranger arrived in Songa. He was a tall man with a commanding presence, his eyes sharp and piercing. He introduced himself as Malik, an archaeologist from the capital, and claimed to be researching ancient West African cultures. The villagers, though wary of outsiders, welcomed him with traditional hospitality. Malik's true intentions, however, were far from academic. He had spent years studying obscure texts and deciphering cryptic maps, all leading him to Ngolo. Malik was convinced that the baobab tree held the key to untold riches and arcane knowledge. With a mix of cunning and charm, he won the trust of the villagers, especially that of young Demba, an inquisitive boy fascinated by tales of adventure and discovery. One moonless night, Malik confided in Demba. "The elders' stories are true, Demba," he whispered conspiratorially. "But they only tell part of the tale. The spirit trapped within Ngolo is not a guardian, it is a treasure keeper. Imagine the wealth and wisdom it holds. We can unlock it together." Demba, enthralled by Malik's words, agreed to help him. They planned to explore the baobab at dawn, when the village was still asleep. With bated breath and hearts pounding, they approached Ngolo under the cover of darkness. Malik carried a satchel filled with tools and an ancient manuscript detailing a ritual to summon the spirit. As they stood before the mighty tree, Malik began to recite the incantation, his voice a low, urgent chant. The air around them grew thick and heavy, and the ground seemed to tremble beneath their feet. Suddenly, a brilliant light erupted from the baobab, illuminating the night with an otherworldly glow. The tree's bark split open, revealing a hidden chamber within its massive trunk. Inside the chamber lay a stone altar, upon which rested a peculiar object, a god intricately carved with symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. Malik's eyes gleamed with triumph as he reached for the god, but as his fingers closed around it, a deafening roar filled the air. The spirit of Ngolo had awakened, the chamber shook violently, and the ground beneath them began to crack. A whirlwind of energy swirled around the baobab, and the spirit emerged, a towering figure of light and shadow. Its voice echoed like thunder, speaking in a language long forgotten. "Who dares to disturb my slumber?" it bellowed. Malik, undeterred, stood his ground. "I seek the knowledge and power you guard. Release it to me, and I shall set you free." The spirit laughed, a sound that sent chills down Demba's spine. "Foolish mortal, you know not what you ask. The power I possess is beyond your comprehension, and the knowledge I guard is not for the greedy or the unworthy." With a swift motion, the spirit reached out and seized Malik, lifting him effortlessly off the ground. The archaeologist's bravado crumbled, replaced by sheer terror. "No. Please. I only wanted to." Silence. The spirit's voice reverberated through the air. "Your greed has doomed you." With that, the spirit cast Malik aside, and the man vanished into the void. Demba, paralyzed with fear, watched in horror as the spirit turned its gaze upon him. "And you, young one," it said, its tone softer yet still formidable, "why have you come?" Demba trembled, but he found his voice. I wanted to help my village. I thought the stories were just myths, but now I see they are real. I am sorry. The spirit regarded him for a long moment, its expression inscrutable. You possess the curiosity and bravery of youth, but you must learn to temper them with wisdom. The power within this tree is not meant for mortal hands. Return to your people and tell them what you have seen. Let this be a lesson for all. With a wave of its hand, the spirit closed the chamber within the baobab and sealed it once more. The light faded, and the night returned to its quiet stillness. Demba, shaken but unharmed, made his way back to the village. When the sun rose, he gathered the elders and recounted his harrowing encounter. The villagers listened in awe and fear, realizing the truth of the ancient tales. From that day forward, they treated Ngolo with renewed reverence, understanding that its mysteries were not to be trifled with. As for Demba, he grew into a wise and respected leader, his courage and humility earning him the trust of his people. He ensured that the story of the mysterious baobab tree and the powerful spirit within was passed down through generations, a reminder of the delicate balance between curiosity and respect for the unknown. And so, Ngolo stood as a sentinel over Sangha, its secrets guarded by the memory of one fateful night and the bravery of a young boy who learned the true meaning of power.